I see this happen a lot. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of my maybe pet peeves, but some fun as well. So the first thing I want everyone to do is to go and make sure you are Googling yourself. I always say go incognito. You click the little dot so that way it's not going over doing the search results based on what you actually do on the internet. But I always like to kind of open this up because if you Google Heather Holliday, you're going to see Heather Holliday and her handle is at Heather Swallows. So Google Academy had a blast with me because I'm like, use me as a guinea pig because I have issues. So this still happens. It is why I go by H3, which has been my nickname since I was in junior high. All my best friends were Heather, and all my initials are HHH. So I just kind of went with it. But it's also why I use the middle initial in all of my profiles, because going through Google Academy and other research, kind of talking about myself in the third person allowed me to kind of get at least on that first page where you may see a video or a photo of me that's not swallowing a sword. She's an international sword swallower. Freak Show was on MTV, and that's when I lost all first page rankings. So always go see where you are in your results. Look you up. That's going to help you when you're going through your profiles, how to be able to maybe kind of edit some of those bios to get yourself up in that first page. The next thing is going on every single profile. When you Google yourself, you're going to find your Zillow, your realtor.com, your profile for Remax or whatever franchise, all of these, all of your social platforms. Click on every single link that you have to make sure it works. I just had one of my agents telling me her domain no longer works. And when she sent me where it was forwarded, I was like, yeah, we haven't had that website in 7 years, meaning they have not clicked on any of their links in their profile for 7 years. And we tell them to do this every 6 months. So same thing with your MLS, we're Flex, but whatever your MLS is, make sure your website's on there, your email, your cell phone, because that is what you're giving to consumers, that sheet. So make sure everything's on there and everything is actually correct. We all just went through the change in websites. So our domains, if you have it forwarded, or maybe you have it just as a redirect, make sure that everything is working so that you can make those adjustments. That is huge, 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 because I see a lot of that happening all the time. I do a lot of website work, a lot of agents, and I see that not working a lot, more often than not. Make sure that you build your website. Your website is completely customizable. Make sure you have some of your branding, your colors, your whatever your brand is. Make sure that I'm going to show you some examples here. So Sue Pinky Benson, I'm like, how am I going to make a pink website with the Remax themes, right? Because we have all these colors we can't really change. So what I wanted to do is make sure I grabbed every one of those areas and photos that we can change. I wanted to find something with pink on it. So when you go to her website, you know you're in the right spot. Here we have Chelly. She loves that classic look, no colors, kind of the grays and blacks. So we wanted to make sure that when you go to her website, again, it matches her branding, and you can do all of this on your websites, the KV Core, whatever platform you're on. We want to make sure that it matches and is cohesive and people know they're going to the right spot. This is Chrissy, Beachside, Cocoa Beach. We have the coastal colors, making sure everything is good to go there. And then here's Kelsey. She also does huge Instagram, community page, Facebook, all of that. So we wanted to make sure to bring all of that full circle onto our website. So this is all making sure, like your brand, make sure it's consistent throughout. Going to make sure you add your Google Analytics. It is free, whether or not you ever go on there. I think yesterday somebody asked, I posted a video in the Remax Tech and Tools group. watching me from beginning to end, full 2 minutes to add this. Whether you like, I do website analytics every month. I like to know how people are finding me, what pages are they landing on, what pages are they bouncing off of. But it doesn't cost anything. It's free. Just Google Analytics. If you have a Gmail, you just basically add in your domain and then slap that right into the settings of your website. Even if you don't check it all the time, periodically checking to see what people are doing on your website, it's always really good, especially if you're going to be running any sort of ads or anything like that. It's just good information to be able to have, and it doesn't cost anything. I like to make my website a hub of information. I do blogs. I share those blogs to social. I add those blogs to my monthly newsletters. I add it to Google Business, to Pinterest. I make videos, put them over to YouTube, linking it back to the blog. And of course, if you're doing reels and sharing as a story, you can insert that blog link right inside of the story using the elements in your Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. So I like to make my hub just my website a hub of information, giving them more than what Zillow, Realtor.com. I want them to be able to see things to do for different seasons, for St. Patrick's Day, where to see fireworks, 4th of July. My number one blog for the last 10 years for every website I do is the school calendar. And literally, I copy and paste the dates from the PDF, make a cute graphic, call it a day. It's amazing. People want that information. They're always Googling for it. I know my calendar when my kids were in school were to constantly add all the dates of the holidays into my calendar and always trying to find out when is early release, when are exams, when are this. So put all of that information on your website, a hub of information, local, relocation. Just think of things that Zillow doesn't have on their site. Add that. You're not just selling a house, you're selling a way of life, and showcase that way of life. Show all the fun things that there is to do around everywhere. Oops, I went backwards here. Also, make sure, one of my biggest pet peeves, my agents know this, is when they share their new listings from their MLS, because there is zero call to action. It is usually more of like a sheet, not very beautiful. It's laid out. Agents completely understand the layout, understand the read and the lingo. Consumers, not so much. And if that property doesn't work for them, they close that and they're done. They move on, they're on their feed. But if you share that link from your website to that listing, you see you have all of these call to actions. You're going to see save, chat with me now, ask me a question, set up property alerts, print the flyer. Then you have sharing to all the different socials. All of those generate a lead for you. Plus, as they go down that information on the listing on your website, you're going to have demographic information. Then you're going to see other listings in that same subdivision, other listings in that area. It gives them a lot of other things to do than just the one property and then they're gone. They can continue to start, searching, looking at other properties. And of course, once they click on that second property, that's when they're going to get that forced registration, bring in a lead. Now they're going to be able to be inside of your database. So it's enabling you to build that pipeline. All you have to do is share your listings from your website. I personally love the playbook because now everyone is going to end up with a hashtag for that specific property, making it super easy to mass text or email every single lead that was created because of them looking at that property. They give you links and everything that you can share using your listing playbooks inside of there. But also, I don't just share, just going to the website. I'll make videos, I make carousels, I make all sorts of different graphics and social media posts, but they all have the call to action. Get the full details, view all photos here, and that's taking them to the property on my website. So lots of different things. Same thing if you're using squeeze pages, landing pages. doing your blogs, like your market reports, anything like that. If you add them all to your website, you can use that link to share to your social, and it drives people back to your website. And I just reiterate that by using that inside of my monthly newsletter as well. And this is where, like my monthly newsletter, I add in a couple of my blogs that I did for the month, my market snapshot. I have a Canva template, so I just plug and play those numbers, put it on YouTube. I add a video. If you go into your newsletters, no matter what platform you're using, we use KV Core, you can set up a template for your newsletter, add buttons, add really cool things. Then you can just clone it, and you literally drag and drop the new information, the new listing. So that way you have your template pre-set up, and it may take you 2 minutes every single month to switch out some of those details, because you can even have links to events and everything else that's local. But again, adding my blogs and different content. And you can see here, I have links that go to all of my guides: buyer guide, seller guide, staging guide, relocation guide. Then I also have links and buttons that are going to a map search. Look at all my blogs. Maybe you want your instant home valuation. All of that information is already on your website. So all you have to do is just make little buttons inside of your newsletter and save that as your template, and then clone it for each month. And now you have your custom newsletter that may take you maybe 5 minutes every single month to just drag and drop the new content. My checklist is going to all your social platforms. Make sure you are not a secret agent. As I said, running the largest peer groups, for the Remax Creative Group, we never get less than 50 requests every single day to join the group. There is hardly ever any less than over 100 agents waiting for one of the admins to have nothing better to do than go and find out where you are to make sure you're with Remax. So they'll just sit there until we have absolutely nothing to do, because they didn't answer questions and their profile has absolutely nothing about real estate. They don't have their website. They don't have their brokerage. They don't have a business page. Nothing is in their profile. So we have to go to remax.net, go Google them, find out where they are, because they couldn't take 30 seconds to maybe answer a couple questions. And they're a secret agent. They've got nothing that says they're with Remax. And there's so many spammers, hackers, trolls that try to get into these groups. So they'll sit there and wait. So I would say almost 70% of the agents that request to join and don't answer the questions, the ones that answer, we usually just approve right away. The ones that don't answer the question, 70% have absolutely nothing about their brokerage, that they're a realtor, inside of that public profile, or they have their profile completely locked down so we can't see anything. So I beg you to go to your profile, link your business page, link your brokerage, make sure your website is correct, and it's going to be going to the actual website and any other social platforms. Just make sure not to be a secret agent. It's going to help your consumers find you. I know, probably just like Paul, you get asked all the time, do you know an agent over in this area or this area? And I do. I may know a couple. The first thing I'm going to do, if they're sending me a Facebook message, I'm going to go find them on Facebook. I'm going to go to their profile and send the agent their website link. But if they don't have their website link or any of their information that I can just easily screenshot and send over, I'm going to go to the next agent I know for that area, because I'm just trying to do this as a favor. But you have to think your consumers are like that too. We want it to be as easy as possible to find your information, to be able to get everywhere. Number 2 is make sure, I always would say, get your own vanity domain. Yes, it costs money to have it fully connected through KV Core, but you're getting over $1,500 a month and all of these amazing tools that we have. I gladly spend the $11 a month. For me, that redirect takes a little bit too long, and sometimes I get that timeout error because it took too long. Pay that $11 a month, get your own domain, goes on your signs. It never will change You can decide what website platform you ever want it to go, but you always have full control over that. So I would say get that vanity domain. Always share your listings, so it'll lead back to your website, so you get those leads and can help them the most. And then I would suggest starting to create blogs, even if you only do one blog a month. If you do your market report, create a template in Canva, graphic. If they provide an infographic, use that, but put that on there so at least you have some content. I personally use ChatGPT to do my local content, things to do in April, how to, things to do for Valentine's Day, things to do, whatever. They're going to give me things to do in X area. And then I can link those back to those places. Linking to reputable sites is going to give you credit with Google for your website, all of that. And then creating localized newsletters, custom content, local events, things to do, your market information, the national housing information, and then your real estate blogs. And then, of course, for more tips and fun stuff, definitely join Remax Creative Group. We have just over almost 29,000 members across the world. Remax Tech and Tools is the sister group. It's more for techie, website marketing, that kind of stuff. So that's a newer group. We have just over 14,000 members. And then I have a ton of videos. All the videos that we do live every single month are all on my website. I have a ton of KV Core blogs, marketing blogs, all of that. Basically, if an agent has a question, I answer it in video and I add it as a blog. So I have a ton of different tips and tricks and lots of good stuff. And I went through that. I did good. But does anybody have any questions? It's weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
About questions?
No. That was a lot of information in a really quick amount of time.